Welcome back to Season 2 of the Love Letters to Virginia podcast. I'm your host, Vanessa Pazmino. Thanks for listening.
Hi, my name is Sergio Lorenzana. Currently, my career is a video creator as a director of photography, and I graduated from ODU around 2015 with a bachelor's degree in cinematography, kind of the usual like media side of things. That's it, pretty much. I can totally go more into detail about like how my career has been shaped or school, but in a small box, that's who I am.
Well, I love the way that you just, tend to deliver things, and I let my guests do their thing, so go for it, man.
Cool. You mean further into an introduction or just anything?
I only said that because you mentioned that you could go further into that.
Oh, right. Yeah, it could, but that might like make this whole 15-minute thing a lot longer. Because I do believe there might be more. I think that there might be a good place to start here, actually.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I just shoveled a bunch of food into my mouth, so I'm trying to not be all burpy. But I think a lot of maybe who I am and am shaping up to be started around an unlikely client. And that first client happened because of my acting connection when I was before I had this career as a cinematographer. So I had done that for about 7 or 8 years, made plenty of friends throughout all that. We all shared in the struggle. At some point, there was actually this kind of incredible group that was made by some of the top performers in the area. And we called it Small Room, right? And that was led by a guy named Jay McCord. And I had acted with him or maybe alongside him at some point. But when I first started some projects, as a cinematographer, he was actually cast as a sick man in this project called Amaranth that there's so many people involved in the project that I'll just focus on the Jay McCord side of things. But he's an actor as well. And at a certain point, I had another acting gig to do and kind of reconnected with one of my friends named Tony Wade. And I told him, this is near the end of like my acting sort of career, and I'm sort of like transitioning to cinematography. And because I looked at him as kind of like, he's a friend for sure, but I'm not gonna lie, but his reach in terms of friends and acquaintances and people who would see his content were like much bigger than mine. So I asked him, hey, do you think there's anything we could do together, like filming wise, that I could sort of like start working on my sort of experience and skill and then piggyback off of something that you wanted to have shot? So he's kind of a physical guy. So he wanted to do some kickboxing kind of like training thing, like a little fitness video, but not specifically him doing a bunch of reps, but him showcasing his like range. So we did that, shot it, edited it, and I kicked it back to him, and he was like super impressed. To be fair, this was like the second video I had ever done. The first one was just some guy playing a guitar, and he had this idea. He was like, Serge, listen, this was really good. Have you ever made any films and stuff? And I was like, yeah, I have, like in college. And I was like, okay, look, I am part of this group with Jay McCord and Nathan Walker, Olivia Anjanette, Julian Johnson, and a few other people that I feel so terrible for like not remembering everyone's name. But when we went to this little group called Small Room, we went to Jay's house. I was just like, man, this dude's house is incredibly huge. It's like a mansion. I'm curious as to like what he did or whatever. But anyway, we walked into his house, went upstairs into literally a small room, and it was just kind of like this nice like
These two clips were
really
taken
good,
using
like,
a 12-foot frame.
actors, producers,
You can see the frame
writers,
here is with a quarter silk. To the left is our key light. It is a 600D with a 5-foot pair. While to the right is our negative fill. On the left, we've got a background flag that's just flagging the light off the backdrop.
There's some black cloth on the ground to avoid bounce from the floor. Kickers in the left, on the right, give us a dimension. We've got the negative fill on the right. And here's the final image. Let us know what you think in the comments.
And in my acting years, I was already like SAG eligible, but like sort of, you know, I had already transitioned out of it. And we had a few writers, and Jay was kind of like a producer and actor at the time. And he was kind of like the lead of that. But this group kind of just like came together as sort of like a Mickey Mouse Club kind of thing to essentially like take all of our ideas and, you know, things that we would write and all that stuff, and then actually like start filming them. And at the end of the first day, Jay McCord starts showing something he was a part of, like producer wise. And I think it was like this farm commercial thing, but they had made it look like really insane. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And then he was like, oh yeah, let me show you this other thing that we did with The Weeknd. I was like, wait a minute, like the Weeknd? I was like, and he was like, yeah, let me show you that. And we saw this like sneak peek for this music video titled Might Be by The Weeknd and Belly. And I watched that and I was like, wait, what the heck? You don't just like drop that at the end of the day, like that you just